Hi everyone, good morning. This is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscriptions. This is the daily forecast. It is for all signs. It is a broad spectrum collective reading. I do speak in broad terms. You need to figure out if and where it fits in your life, if at all. If it doesn't fit, that's okay. It doesn't mean that anything's broken or wrong. You're not doing anything wrong or not on your path. It just may not be your reading. You might be working on something different. For those of you that are new, please check out the drop-down menu underneath any of my daily videos. In there, some general housekeeping rules, things I want you to think about when utilizing the channel, what decks I'm using, how to contact me on social media for a private reading, either via Instagram or my Facebook business page. Know that I will not reach out to you to sell you a reading. You would always need to initiate that conversation with me. If somebody reaches out to you, then it's more than likely not me. But those are available to you to reach out to me. Also, simple ways of supporting the channel. You can hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, leave me a question or comment, or share the video out. This reading is originally created for Thursday, the 18th of May. It's not solely set for that date. If you're seeing it on a different date, but it makes sense to your situation, by all means utilize the reading. I believe that any of my readings can be timeless and can find us when we need them for the message rather than when they were originally created for. So keep that in mind. I will be referring back to the Sunday underpinning reading, which is the reading that I do every Sunday, which shows like the sort of overview of the week. That's an underpinning layer of energy that sits underneath these cards just to add a little extra depth. So if you hear me talking about a card that you don't see in this reading, I'm usually referring back to that Sunday reading. And that populates in the lower left-hand corner at the end of this reading. So if you want to watch that, you can check that out at the end of this video. Alright, so let's get into these cards and see what Spirit wants us to know for this day. Alright, so we have the Knight of Wands. Associated oftentimes with Sagittarian energy. We saw the Knight of Swords yesterday. Knights are about servitude and loyalty. The Knight of Wands can be a very passionate, driven card, a card of action, a card of taking action, maybe jumping to conclusions or decisions, sometimes impulsively. The thing with the Knight of Wands, he can come on strong, but he may lack staying power. We might find ourselves wanting to move ourselves out of a situation or towards something new that we desire with the Knight of Wands here. Underpinning this from Sunday's reading, because we're now at Thursday, is the Knight of Cups. So we have two knights at work here. Knights sometimes bring information with them. There might be something that, you know, because of the Knight of Cups, it's how we feel emotionally. It's usually compassion and love. The Knight of Wands would be about what we desire. So these two knights are going to want to move towards what we love and what we desire. We could be feeling impulsive or making decisions quickly today. The Wands suit is the element of fire, which is one of action, making decisions, taking actions, and maybe making swift movements towards whatever it is we want, or something moving swiftly towards us. Ideally, if it's us moving towards something or something moving towards us, it is going to be from a place of passion, of course, with the Knight of Wands here, but also it's underpinned by the Knight of Cups, so it's also a true card, right? It's, even though it feels impulsive or quick or, you know, out of the blue, it's not something that we haven't thought about with the Knight of Cups underpinning this. There's something that we like have certain feelings towards, or it has feelings towards us, that is now taking action upon it, right? And this could be some of that Knight of Swords that we saw yesterday, right? Where I was saying that some information could be coming to us. All of these knights showing up in the first in the Sunday underpinning, but in yesterday's clarifiers and in today's main card, speaks to this idea of, in my opinion, forward movement, right? Forward movement towards what we desire, what we want. making a quick decision and taking action on that decision, knowing that that decision is based out of love, out of, possible attainment of harmony, peace, all of that. Even if the decision feels impulsive or out of the blue, we're ready to take action. We're ready to move forward. We're ready to put our 2 cents in and begin to affect change by, like knights to me are always willing to get into the fray and into the fight and affect change. So we could be finding ourselves getting behind the driver's seat of a situation and leading ourselves towards what it is we desire, what it is we want, especially from a place of love, compassion, care. It may not be the popular decision, right? Because the Knight of Wands can come off a little bit impulsive, but it's our decision is how I feel. And so that's what's most important here. Let's look at the Untamed Elemental Oracle. This is Sun. Yesterday we had Sky. Now Sun is also fire energy, which so is the Knight of Wands. And the Sun card in traditional tarot is associated with the sign of Leo. Excuse me. So we could find ourselves being rather propelled is kind of the word that I'm getting, like pushed forward in a way. Like with the sun and the yellow of this Knight of Wands, it feels like we don't have a choice. And I know that sounds weird to me because oftentimes we always have free will and choice. But this feels like there's a clear direction. We understand where we need to go now or what action we need to take. And we need to wholeheartedly believe in that action and stick to it. That wavering path that we see here shows that, to me, this line here feels like we've been on this path towards this thing or this desire for a while now, and it's maybe not always worked out or gone in our favor or in directions that we thought that it would, but now, to me, with the sun at the top of the card, it appears like there's a very clear path forward, and it's up to us to take the initiative and the action to move forward. Do I think we'll do it with the Knight of Wands and the Sun card here? Yes, indeed. And underpinning this is the Knight of Cups. I think we'll do it wholeheartedly, full force, weighing our emotional barometer against it and then going forward. It's almost like with that sun at the top of the card, I feel like what wasn't clear now is. That's often an indicator of the sun card, is the sun shines light and gives life to things. It's one of the most positive cards in the tarot. This isn't a tarot deck per se, but it's giving me that vibe of where we didn't see a way forward, now there very well might be, and we need to take action on that way forward. The only warning with this is make sure that we have the staying power to stick to our decisions or stick to our guns, so to speak, and continue to move towards what is our truth. Our spiritual truth, our emotional truth. That's what the Knights are going to stand for, and that's what the Sun is going to be showing us in all of this, right? Or leading us towards. Let me read the Sun to you. Divine service. As the star at the center of our solar system, a fiery traveler of timeless confidence and force, Sun unifies the planets through gravity and light. Illuminating and supreme, he devours the shadows. His circulating heat is all-powerful and offers the understanding that to honor the divine within and all around us, we must all serve. It's funny that we have all of these knights in this message of service. Sun reveals that by giving undivided attention to your inner luminosity, this is weird. Your inner luminosity, you free it to shine outward, illuminating the way for others. This is the way of life. We evolve to serve. Just as Sun's light serves all life on earth, your light serves all whom you know. Continue to invigorate your inner light so that you can become a pharos of clarity and wisdom. This is not a purely selfless path. As you offer your service, its radiating warmth is reflected back by all who benefit, and you are remunerated in multiples. What's interesting is yesterday's grounding stone was friends, so it says as you offer your service, it's radiating warmth is reflected back by all who benefit. The balanced version is serving from a place of wholeness. The imbalanced version is selfishness, self-serving attitudes, or self-sacrifice. To bring into balance, develop the art of gracefully receiving to instill a sense of what it's like to accept from others openly and then give in return. Let's go to the clarifiers really quick. So we have the Chariot, that is Cancerian energy, also fast forward movement, major arcana, a card of celebration, but a card of honor, right? Knowing who we are, what we want, how we feel, and moving towards that from a place that's emotionally honoring, nurturing, and kind and caring. And that's the underpin of the Knight of Cups in this. The next card is the Five of Swords. And then let's look at the last one, is the Six of Swords. So we are moving to a calmer situation, especially mentally. Swords represents that element of the thoughts, what we communicate, and the mind. The Five of Swords can indicate a transition, a fight, argument, a discourse of some sort, maybe a lack of communication where people feel alienated from one another. But to me, I think that that's okay. Fives are only transitional, right? If we're in a situation where it feels off or not correct or right, all of these cards seem to want to point me in a direction that we know where we need to go. We know what we need to do, what we need to communicate, how we need to think to smooth this over and bring ourselves back into balance. That would be the Six of Swords. The Chariot will lead us there as long as we kind of honor ourselves. And yes, we can be in service like the sun, but we also can be, by being in service to ourselves, we therefore can be in better service to others. So listening to our emotions, our desire, how we feel, what we want, and then moving towards that is really the best thing for all involved, is my feeling. We're not doing it, I'll say this with the Knight's presence here, we're not doing it at the sacrifice of someone else, their feelings, their needs at all. We're doing it for ourselves, for our own peace of mind, for our own balance, for our own clarity, for our own clearer communication. If we have to step away from the situation altogether, so be it. That could be us departing from this Five of Swords, like debacle energy, or this miscommunication energy. This could be us just moving in a different direction away from this fight or trying to prove this point. The Five of Swords can be about like sort of pushing our point so far, so much and so far that we end up alienating others and we lose our audience, so to speak. I don't think that's the case. I think what I'm getting from these cards, and especially the Truth of the Sun, is that it doesn't matter what our audience thinks or how they... I'm not saying it doesn't matter. That's coming out wrong. How do I want to phrase this? What matters most is how we see, feel, and communicate a situation. That's first and foremost. That should be celebrated, honored, and carried through in service with the Sun and the Chariot there and move us to more balanced thinking. And we need to take action towards that. That action needs to be taken not only from spiritual desire, but also from a place of compassion with the Knight of Cups underpinning this. Remember, our end of the week card is the Nine of Pentacles. So we have this, we're leading to, and we saw yesterday the Nine of Cups in the clarifiers. So we're leading to this completion of a cycle that emotionally and materially should bring us a bit of independence, a bit of well-being, not even a bit, a lot. We know what we need to do. It's just a matter of doing it and doing it in a way that not only honors ourselves, but honors those around us. Now let's look at the grounding stone. So the grounding stone today, this is what we should ground in, is wealth. And wealth, you know, obviously is financial wealth. There's that terminology of it. But I also think of wealth in the idea of what do we have an abundance of? Is it an abundance of a great thinking mind, of overly compassionate, and I'm not saying overly as in a bad way, but a super compassionate heart, a creative imagination, unending amounts of energy maybe with this Knight of Wands here. Do we have the gusto, the get up and go, ability to transform situations and the wealth that that provides us, grounding in the idea of creating more for ourselves, more abundance in however we see fit. And abundance does not have to just surround money. It can surround like more harmonic relationships, more harmony and balance within ourselves and our own thoughts. That can be the wealth that we can ground in today, or the goal that we are seeking as we move forward in the light of the sun, in the truth of our thoughts and in the truth of our heart with that Knight of Cups. That brings us to ideally the independence of the underpinning Nine of Pentacles that we see at the end of this week. Like, I want to say take the reins, take the action, and move forward is my feeling. Grounding in the fact that in doing so, we set ourselves up for abundance. And when we're abundant, we can be in better service to others, and also maybe be way showers for others in how they can find their own abundance. That is your reading for the day. I hope it makes sense. If you enjoyed it, please hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Leave me a question or comment, and share the video out. Tune in tomorrow and we'll see how this energy transforms. Have a wonderful day. It should be very dynamic. Take care. Bye-bye.